Welcome to the Daily Devotion. I'm Kathy Morris, pastor of the Dixon United Methodist Church. Our Bible reading for today comes from the letter to the Colossians. It is a thrilling description of Jesus Christ and the power and purpose of his ministry. I'm reading Colossians Chapter 1, verses 15 through 20 from the New Revised Standard Version. He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For in him all things in heaven and on earth were created, things visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or powers. All things have been created through him and for him. He himself is before all things, and in him all things hold together. He is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, so that he might come to have first place in everything. For in him all the fullness of God was pleased to dwell, and through him God was pleased to reconcile all things to himself, whether on earth or in heaven, by making peace through the blood of his cross. With such a lofty description of this cosmic Christ, it can be a little hard for us to relate to. We don't necessarily feel that same nearness and accessibility that we find in Jesus in the gospel stories. And so holding the cosmic Christ together with the earthly presence of Christ that is with us in the Holy Spirit can really be a challenge for us. Blaise Pascal was a French mathematician and philosopher. He was a remarkable scientist, and his discoveries led to the creation of the barometer. Pascal had a profound spiritual experience in 1654. He felt the reality of grace and the inner fire of Christ. He wrote about his experiences in a private memoir of his spiritual experiences, meditations that were a reflection of what he had come to know about Jesus. One of the things that is interesting about Pascal is that he would write his thoughts on little scraps of paper and then collected them together and arranged them. One of the reflections that he's perhaps best known for is the one that says, "Heart has reasons of which reason knows not." Now, one of his reflections about Christ is this: Jesus Christ is a God whom we approach without pride, and before whom we humble ourselves without despair. Pascal understood the cosmic power of Jesus Christ, who was indeed God in the flesh. He also understood the nearness and the intimacy we are invited to experience with Christ through the Holy Spirit. We are to be humble in the presence of the greatness of Christ and hopeful through his grace. For a prayer exercise in the spirit of Pascal, write his reflection on a Post-it note or some small piece of paper, and then put it somewhere that you are likely to see it rather frequently, perhaps on your refrigerator. And each time you see this note, bow your head and then lift up your face. May this be a reminder that before Christ we are humble, and through him we are hopeful.